I don't know who they is, but before you criticize a man, you might want to walk a mile in his shoes. Well, there's two reasons you'd want to do that. Number one, when it comes down to it, you are a mile away from him. And the second thing, of course, is you have his shoes, so he's not likely to come after you. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, it's very easy to look at the behavior of some person and decide that you would never do a thing like that. And as you see me, and those of you that know me, you know I would never hit a woman. You know I would never hit a helpless person, don't you? You know that, don't you? I recently came across a story where a man punched a woman in the face and she had handcuffs on. Can you imagine that? I would never do anything like that. Not only did she have handcuffs on, but she was being restrained by a couple of other guys. And really and truly, for him to do something like that, our judgment muscle kicks in and we all think, what a horrible person. He needs to be drawn and quartered. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. And when I'm finished my story, you'll know why I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I investigated further and found out that during the struggle and the ensuing arrest that occurred, the woman bit the guy on his arm. And he just hit her as soon as she bit him. I know some of you are thinking, well, that's not a reason. You shouldn't hit a woman under any circumstances. Some of you know me know that years ago, I was a registered nurse in the emergency department. And you know, in the emergency department, all manner of people come around in the emergency department. Some of them are friendly, some of them are not, some of them are men, some of them are women. And really and truly, anything is likely to happen there. There was this time, this was before the ACLU got more active than what they are now, when we used to force people to give blood to us so we could check their blood alcohol. Now picture this. There's a man lying this way. His head is behind me on a gurney, and there are people all around his gurney. Some people holding his legs, some people holding his shoulders down. They got him totally restrained. And one of the other nurses they were about to draw some blood from the guy. So remember, he's lying behind me, and I got his arm, and I'm forcing his arm down, and I'm holding his arm. This guy can't do anything. He's just laying there waiting for somebody to stick a needle in his arm so he can be got. And out of nowhere, he didn't have anything else he could do, so he raised his head and he bit me on my upper arm. And as soon as he bit me, without thinking, without doing anything, I turned around and cracked him right across the jaw. Me, I did that. I cracked him right across the jaw. I felt his jaw give underneath the punch, and I looked around to see if anybody saw me, and of course everybody saw me. But when I looked around and looked at my helpers, everybody to a man was looking up in the sky as though they didn't see anything. And that was a good thing for me. So having had that experience, you can see why I might have wanted to give that policeman the benefit of the doubt. Do you want to give him the benefit of the doubt? Who really knows? But it's up to you to decide how you're going to couch any particular event. It's up to you to decide how you're going to react to anything, because it's your mind that's doing the reacting, and it's you that's going to have the experience. And however you respond to other people, chances are people are going to respond to you the same way. Think of some of the things that you've done in your life, and think of the way that you judge yourself. You probably judge yourself on what you meant to do, on what you intended. Like, I only intended to hold this guy's arm down, but what I ended up doing was hitting him in the jaw. You might have only intended to relieve some pain that you were having. You might have only intended to take someone out of a bad situation, but you ended up doing something else. I have found over the course of time that we tend to judge others on what they do, and we judge ourselves on what we intend to do. I say we can improve the state of the world. I say we can improve our culture if we give more people the benefit of the doubt and took less of the benefit of the doubt for ourselves. How do we give ourselves the benefit of the doubt? We give ourselves the benefit of the doubt by making excuses for ourselves, by justifying the things that we do. You see, I have developed the habit of justifying the things that other people do. Because if I didn't justify the things that other people do, in some cases, I'd want to kill them. And you know, you really can't do that. And having the desire to hurt somebody because of whatever reason that you want to conjure up, it's something that resides in your heart. It's something that resides inside of you. And there's an old saying that says, what goes in you will come out of you. When people get triggered, largely they're being triggered by something on the outside that's connecting with something on the inside. The thing is on the inside, many of us don't even know that the thing is on the inside. So before you judge a man or woman, always consider that there's probably a logical explanation for what they did. And remember, many times when you have been judged, when you have been criticized, your natural inclination is to defend yourself and justify what you did. Flip it around and give others the benefit of the doubt, and you be harder on yourself than you are on other people. Now, if we can get everybody to do that, there'd be less blame going around, and we'd have a much better world. You may connect with what I just said. I certainly hope that there are no perfect people in the room that have never done anything that they would rather not do. And since there probably isn't any perfect people in the room, take it to heart. Give the people that committed the thing that you think is offensive, give them the benefit of the doubt and practice the muscle that you don't use that much. And that's that muscle that I call love. Mr. Toastmaster.